also our ABVM of the Florida United Division. Let's bring up Mr. Mike Abramowitz. Also, baby James, who's adjusting to the bright lights on the stage. Mike started with Vector 18 years ago, just completed his 15th year as a district manager. The first 9 years of Mike's career would be defined as solid, but not great. Not once in those first 9 years was Mike recognized as a standard of excellence winner or above. But he kept fighting, he kept growing, he kept working on himself, and his sales reports began to climb from the $400,000 range to $500,000 to $600,000 and more. The real breakthrough occurred 5 years ago when he made the decision to be more authentic and true to himself and his purpose, and to stop trying to be other people in the business and to be him. His new division manager at the time, Jeff Gamboa, gave him the autonomy to innovate, and Mike experienced a breakthrough that led to back-to-back $900,000 years. 9 years of not being over $500,000. Back-to-back $900,000 years. And then in 2019, he busted through the $1 million mark with a $1.26 million year. You can see that look in Mike's eyes. There's pride knowing that what he had to go through to get to that place. He was the #1 district office and #1 overall district in the company that year. Just a remarkable story of fighting through adversity, being persistent, and committing to personal growth, which is what Mike has always done. In 2020, he operated on a different stratosphere. He built a dynamite team. We have 3 Silver Cup categories available to our district managers. Mike won all 3 of those Silver Cups in that single year. He's backed that up the past 2 years with his 3rd and 4th straight $1 million years. What also makes Mike special is that he has causes in his life outside of the business that he's passionate about. He founded a nonprofit called PBJ for Tampa Bay, which has provided 105,000 sandwiches for the needy in the Tampa-St. Pete area. And he's involved his team and 1,000 volunteers in that cause. Mike has also given back to the youth in his community by speaking at dozens of high schools to students on personal growth and leadership. He's also published 9 books, 4 of which were Amazon bestsellers, and they've been used as curriculum in high schools in the Tampa-Clearwater area. Mike isn't just impacting his people in our business, he's impacting the community and the people around it. Let's give Mike a hand for that. On a personal note, Mike and his wife Lindsay have been married now for 5 years. Like many young couples, they shared a dream of building a family together. In 2019, they dealt with the heartbreak of losing a child 20 weeks into Lindsay's pregnancy. So after that devastating experience, it was a tremendous blessing for Mike and Lindsay to share on New Year's Eve, going into 2021, that not only was Lindsay 26 weeks pregnant, which we were excited about, but she had already delivered to the world their first child at 26 weeks, earlier than expected. James Weston Abramowitz was born on December 31st, 2020, weighing 1 pound and 4 ounces. Mike and Lindsay figured that James would need to stay at the ICU for a couple of months before coming home. But baby James was having serious issues with his breathing, and he had to be put on a ventilator for life support. So Mike and Lindsay ended up moving in with James at the ICU, and they stayed there with him for 8.5 months. 254 days in the ICU with their son. Can you imagine moving out of your house and into a hospital for 8 months? It was an 8-month roller coaster of setbacks and challenges and progress and more setbacks. And then finally that September, they were able to bring baby James home. Since then, for the past 16 months, Mike and Lindsay have had to be doctors. They've had to handle his critical care 24/7, including going to 8 different specialists. On average, they have 15 doctor appointments per month. It's been a lot for them to handle as a couple financially, especially with Lindsay having to give up her job to care for James. Thankfully, Mike has had systems and fantastic people in place to sustain his Cutco business and simultaneously start a side coaching business and podcast to replace Lindsay's income to support the family. The good news is that James has made tremendous progress over the past 6 months. He is now completely off the ventilator. Look at the progress. He's running. He's completely off the ventilator. He's taking steps towards getting his trach out in the next few months. There he is a year ago, celebrating the day after his birthday. Happy New Year's. Here he is with Mike, hanging out, getting some dad time. He got to take his first vacation. They went on a Disney cruise just a couple weeks ago. Someday, James will be one of Mike's top Cutco sales reps. Mike and Lindsay, thank you for sharing your story with us, for being vulnerable over the past 2 years, inspiring us with the love and dedication and sacrifice that you've shown for your son. He's absolutely precious. It's been an honor to meet him for the very first time, having prayed for him so much over the last couple of years. Another great year for Mike in the business. Beautiful family. Number 11, National District Office. 4 times Millionaire Club winner. Our number 1 district office in total business in the region. Help me recognize Mr. Mike Abramowitz.